Well, fans across the tri-state area are remembering DMX, and many fans actually gathering outside of the hospital in White Plains where he died. And that's where we find New York One's Amy Yensi this afternoon. Amy, so what's the latest there?
Well, I can tell you the mood is a combination outside of the hospital, Dean. You can hear a lot of DMX songs being played by different radios that are blaring out his music. Some people look sad, others look like they're celebrating his music, his contribution to hip-hop and his life. And outside of the hospital where he died, White Plains Hospital, fans have set up a tribute to him. You can see balloons with messages on there for him. Fans had been here for days, for a week, since he was brought to the hospital in really bad shape. Doctors here at White Plains Hospital did what they could to save him. He had been on life support, but sadly he could not be saved. The family confirming that he did pass away. Now, DMX was 50 years old. His real name, Earl Simmons. He was born in Mount Vernon and raised in Yonkers, just outside of the Bronx. In a statement, his family confirmed that he died of, quote, catastrophic cardiac arrest. Now, DMX was a Grammy-winning rapper, a prominent figure in hip-hop. He was also an actor. But aside from the stardom, he connected with many fans on a personal level because he was so open and honest about his ongoing battle with substance abuse and his issues with the criminal justice system. And Dean, in recent years, he even became almost spiritual about it, talking about his struggles. You cannot talk about DMX without mentioning the Rough Riders. That was his motorcycle and hip-hop crew that he was a part of. And we spoke to the founder outside of the hospital about how he's doing after hearing the news. Take a listen.
This was a real authentic artist. You know, people knew the difference from him and somebody that just rhymed. He rhymed from the heart. Big difference. Wow. People rhyme with words. He rhymed from the heart and things that he went through and he experienced. So he was just putting his life on wax. Main thing he was a giving person. He always gave to people. Always. Because he came up, he didn't have much. So when he did get a little money, he was able to give back to the people.
And you can see one of the messages here, our prayers are with you, DMX. That is definitely the sentiment outside of White Plains Hospital, where Earl Simmons, better known as DMX, has passed away today. And as I was just telling you before we heard that message, he was a survivor and someone who fought for his life. He had a near-death experience back in 2016. For this to happen to him now is very sad for the people that knew him and for the fans that love him. And we'll be outside of the hospital to bring you the very latest developments. But again, DMX passed away. He was 50 years old. That's the latest from here in White Plains. Amy Yensi, back to you.
Hey, Amy, very quickly, people who may not be into hip-hop may not really understand how this person who had a lot of issues but impacted a lot of folks coming out in the 90s, his fans today are lawyers, judges, police officers, and reporters like yourself.
I was going to say that, and news reporters, this is basically the music that I grew up on. This is the soundtrack of my high school years. And DMX and his music was cross-generational. A lot of people that are in their 40s and their younger teenagers may know some of his music and share that in common because a lot of it was timeless and a lot of the things that he talked about still resonate today. And I can tell you he had a very deep, raspy voice, and it was very unique and it stands out. When you hear a DMX song, you hear the bark, you know it's him. So a lot of people thinking about the positive contributions that he made to music and to hip-hop, and not the struggles that he faced and not the way that he lost his life. And that's the very latest from here. A very sad day for hip-hop, a very sad day for fans like myself. Back to you.
All right, Amy, thank you.